I need to see the lineup. It's not the one I created, it's another one. The one I created, I couldn't get it to sync, so it's a different, but it should be, if you click live, it should be there. See it? All right, fans, welcome to Charlotte Christian. Hello? We are. Right there. It is, but if you go back out and then click live again, you'll see the one that we're on. The one that I set up, it couldn't link it. You should see another broadcast. Welcome, fans. Rob will be with you momentarily. I do want to get the starting lineups for Wesleyan first. The early start time threw me for a little bit of a loop. This is Mr. Queen, Jason Queen, with WCA Sports Media. I'm here with Luke Nelson. We're at Wesleyan Christian Academy at Charlotte Christian in the NCISAA State Semifinals from Charlotte Christian. On the mound for the Knights tonight, Grant Nicholson, who is headed to Wake Forest. Leading off for the Trojans, Josh Hammond. And as you can tell, we're running a little bit behind trying to get through Charlotte traffic. Getting squared away here on a little hill down the right field corner. Huge thanks to Cody Proctor for providing our video service this evening. And we are underway. First pitch is high for a ball to Hammond.
Yeah, Jason, Hammond, dangerous hitter with a .457 average over the year with 38 hits, 26 RBIs, and 5 home runs on the year.
He has been certainly Wesleyan stud. I saw the latest Major League draft rankings come out today. He was listed as the number 23 prospect in this year's draft, and it looks like the umpire is going to call that a ball in play. Hammond is saying it hit off of his forearm, so let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully the plate man is going to get together with his crewmates here. We've got a three-man crew tonight, so a guy coming up from the B and somebody coming in from the C. And if you're a Wesleyan fan, certainly you would hope that one of them saw that pitch come off of Hammond's forearm. He immediately went to the ground, indicating he was hit by a pitch. That, to me, for those two guys in the field, that's going to be tough to overrule that. And it looks like usually whoever your umpire goes to talk to, he's delivering some bad news. So we'll see. Now, this is unusual. They are asking to see Hammond's arm for a bruise, and apparently that's going to be the deciding factor, whether we have a hit by pitch or a ball in play for out number one.
Yeah, Jason, I've quite never seen an umpire go look at a hitter and look for a bruise.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. Plenty of times your referee might ask the crowd if somebody got their hair pulled or their trunks pulled, but I've never seen an umpire at this level of a baseball game ask the player for some proof that somebody was hit by a pitch. But Hammond is putting on his up and mitt. He's making a slow stroll to first base, and it looks like the Charlotte Christian is getting the bad news here. Their head coach, after, let's see, exactly 3 pitches, we have controversy. Hammond is on first base, and that's going to bring Nick Papsiak to the plate.
Yep, Papsiak, 367 hitter throughout the year with 29 hits, 18 RBIs, and 1 launched over the wall.
So again, Charlotte Christian not happy with that ruling, but at the end of the day, Hammond is on first, and Papsiak steps to the plate. Again, sorry, I'm playing a little bit of catch up here to get your rosters to you, and maybe in between the top of the first and the bottom of the first, we can get you squared away. Hammond also a threat on the bases, Luke. I think he's stolen maybe.
Oh, let's see.
He has.
Oh, my stat sheet is not currently acting right now. We'll get those numbers with you here in a second.
Tried to get Luke prepped up a little bit. Didn't do a great job, maybe.
That's that Charlotte traffic being scrambling around late in the evening. But nonetheless, what a beautiful night for baseball.
Absolutely. I'm going to hope that pending storm might stay away. There's a ball in the dirt. I believe that first pitch was a strike, 1-1 to Papsiak. Hammond taking the lead. See, I don't think he would take a chance to get thrown out here, but we will see. That offering is low. It'll be 2-1. Papsiak with a hitter's count here. Nicholson taking his hat off, wiping a little sweat. Gets his hat back on, toes the rubber. Hammond gets his sign from Wesleyan coach Mo Blakeney. Throws back over. He's thinking about Hammond maybe taking off.
Yeah, just checking on him there, Jason. Just checking on him.
Yeah. Got to keep him honest. Not get too greedy of a lead over there at first.
Got to make sure to check a dangerous base runner like that.
And that's going to be a ball outside. 3-1 now to Papsiak. If he could. And I was just watching the highlights from their first meeting here on March the 6th on a bitterly cold night that Charlotte Christian actually rallied and won that game 5-4. Wesleyan took advantage of some off pitching, walked in a couple runs with the bases loaded. Gets himself back even. Payoff pitch coming. 3-2 to Papsiak.
Got to stay aggressive.
Certainly Papsiak looking for something. You know, when you're a lower-seeded team, you lost your first matchup, man. Getting off to a good start would be huge here.
Trying to make a statement early.
Back over to him, and he thinks he might be going. Now, I'm not a coach. I've never lost a game from out here, but I can't see him and risking a strike him out, throw him out double play right here. But, again, I have never lost a game from out here. Lifetime undefeated. Pitch coming. Papsiak takes ball 4. So a hit batter. Papsiak's walk gets a little firm clap as he heads down the line. And here comes Cole Bowman, the catcher, the sophomore catcher. He is a switch hitter, so against the right-hander Nicholson, he's going to be hitting left-handed this evening.
Cole Bowman, dangerous hitter with a 346 average. 28 hits, 29 RBIs, and 2 launched over the wall this season.
Swings at the first pitch. I believe that was off speed, down and away. Swings, he's down 0-1. But runners on first and second, nobody out with the meat of the order coming up. Wesleyan would love to stake to an early lead right here. Would be give the visitors from High Point some momentum. That's a strike. Bowman's down 0-2.
I think they tried to set Bowman up with the off-speed early, catch him off guard with the fastball, that second pitch.
Definitely. So now he's got a little something to work with here. 0-2 pitch coming. Bowman just needs to put something in play, not a double play ball here. Move those runners up. Give the 4 or 5 hole a chance. Nicholson taking a long look back at Hammond. I think he's just trying to maybe throw Bowman off his rhythm at the plate there.
Can't blame a guy thrown to a dangerous hitter like that.
Bowman takes strike 3, so 1 out now. Thompson Holloway, who missed a little time near the end of the season with a quad injury. Good to see him come back on Friday against Charlotte Latin. Thompson, a senior.
Yeah, you can see here, Holloway only 55 at-bats this year with 78 plate appearances.
Be nice to make something happen right here. Find some grass, make Charlotte Christian make a play here. Again, no balls in play yet for Wesleyan. The hit batter on the first pitch. Papsiak followed with a walk. See if Holloway can't find a hole somewhere right here. And Holloway had asked for time late.
Yeah, very late time out there.
Nicholson was looking back at Hammond at second. He didn't see it. He had already started his motion. I think most coaches will tell you, hey, go ahead and throw the ball. Don't take a chance messing your arm up, messing your shoulder up, anything like that.
Little bond games here early in this postseason matchup.
Oh, yes. Bounces out when Holloway tells Hammond just hold tight. Good arm behind the plate. Certainly don't want to risk getting thrown out. That would be a momentum killer.
Yeah, Papsiak was thought about going. Kind of got caught up in the turf down there. Kind of scrambled back to second.
One-0 pitch coming to Holloway. Fouls that one out behind the backstop. Just checking, Jake, you said you checked the YouTube feed. Everything was good. You could hear the mics good. Everything's good. All right, outstanding. I tried to set up another feed for you guys, and I have never done that before. I tried. I could not get it to link up, so we created a new feed. If you had a little trouble finding this, I apologize for that. 1-1 pitch coming to Holloway, one away. And he takes that one up. Charlotte Christian wanted that pitch at the top of the zone. I think he fooled him with the curveball there.
Yeah, I think so. That was a easy take, high, about neck high. Pretty easy take there for Holloway.
Two 2-1 pitch on the way. And he swings at that. He's a little disappointed at himself. Wish he either would have taken it or gone ahead and taken a complete swing, try to put the ball in play. Instead, he's 2-2 here. Down 2 strikes, same situation Bowman was in. Just needing to put something in play, take advantage of these 2 guys being on here. And he waves at strike 3. So now, what looked to be a promising start for Wesleyan, Charlotte Christian is 1 out away from maybe turning that into a momentum moment there. Blake Goff, one of the hottest hitters on the team, now steps to the plate, the first baseman.
Yes, sir. Jason batting .346, trying to create a little life in this offense early here in the top of the first.
And he has really reminded me, he's hitting that 5-hole quite a bit. He has reminded me so much of the role Hudson Lance played last year. He hit in that 5-hole most of the time, and it seems like he came up in so many huge at-bats. Just like this one, especially late in the season, postseason, and it seems like he came through every time. And Hudson loved to flare the ball to right field. He loved to work the backside, and Blake is the same way. He works the right side of the field. Be nice to see him squirt one out here to right field right here. Nicholson wants Hammond to reduce his lead at second. Hammond on second, Papsiak at first, 2 away, Blake Goff at the plate.
You just like to have Goff, a player on your team, just a role guy, can really create big moments in big-time spots.
Absolutely. He's been very steady addition this year. Takes the ball outside, 2-0. I'm going to try to do my best to keep up with the count. Sorry we don't have a graphic for you guys with the count and the score. We're going to kind of try to try to treat it like a radio broadcast. We're going to try to give you as much information as we can, much as we can. 2 balls, no strikes here to Goff. 2 away, top of the first. That one is called a strike at the top of the zone, so it's a little bit below the letters there.
Looked like the same pitch to me, Jason.
Yeah, it's tough, and then when you're an umpire, it's like, do I call it or not? And you just hope you don't get too many pitches up there.
We've got a lot of game left.
That's right. That's right. I was looking down, we got a little wind blowing. What do we got there, Dale? Strike, 2 balls, 2 strikes now. So Nicholson, who had 2 on and nobody out, 2 strikes here on Goff. Really need a ball in play to get some of these runners moved around. And an early lead would be huge for the Trojans. Nicholson, pitch coming. And Goff looks at strike 3. So with 2 on, nobody out, Goff asked the home plate umpire there where that one was. I think that must have just caught the outside corner about belt high. So, if you will, I'm going to take a break here for just a minute and write this Charlotte Christian lineup down in my scorebook. I know our guys. I'm not nearly as familiar with their guys, so I'm going to take a minute here and write their lineup down in my book and get ready for the bottom of the first. Absolutely in scramble mode. All right, guys, I am back. Leading off for Charlotte Christian, number 2, Owen Farrell. He's going to be the left fielder tonight for the Knights.
Yeah, Farrell, the best hitter on the team this season with that 371 average, 33 hits, 19 RBIs, and 3 homers this year.
And when I looked at their lineup, he reminded me of Hammond leading off for us. He just like, as he goes, it seems like they go. 0-2 now. Sorry, I'm still working on my batting order here, my batting lineup. These umpires, nice little pace of play there. Got in and out pretty quickly, which is a good thing. Cozart here on the mound. Sam Cozart. All you Wesleyan fans, that's going to be about as familiar name as you're going to get. 1-2 now. 2 Farrell. High fly ball. Goff trying to track it just by the first base dugout. He could not quite have room there. But yeah, we talked to our sports media class. One of my students interviewed Sam earlier this year, and he said his highlight at Wesleyan was his 8th grade year when the Trojans played in the state championship, and he got to pitch to his brother, who just graduated from NC State, now playing professional baseball. He said that was a highlight, and of course they have an older brother who came through as well. So that name, very familiar to all you Wesleyan fans. And there's a hard hit ball to left field. Van tried to track it, but it's going to one-hop the wall. And Farrell is going to stand up with a double to center field. And I've heard quite a bit. This is my first trip down here, but I've heard quite a bit about how raucous this Charlotte Christian crowd can get. A leadoff double against Sam Kozart will certainly get their juices flowing.
Yeah, Jason, it looked like Farrell really sat back on that pitch and drove it right in the left center field gap, right over the center fielder's head.
He did. Van tried to track it as best he could. Just burned him. That was a hard hit ball. That brings to the plate Drew Darling, the first baseman. He's going to square around the bunt. And I'm going to tell you, Luke, runs are probably going to be at a premium tonight. So when you get a guy on second base with nobody out, getting that two-hole guy to get a bunt down, move him up to third, give yourself an opportunity to take a 1-0 lead. The Knights certainly play in the percentages there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think laying a bunt down is essential. It's going to be essential tonight with runners in scoring position, try to advance them over.
Goff creeping in, Mikey Papsiak over to cover first. Now 2 strikes. Now we were just having this conversation coming down the highway, sitting on the, let's see, I believe we were sitting on I-77 when we were talking about not being able to get a bunt down, not being able to get the first one or the second one down. So now Darling is like, oh man, I got to actually swing the bat against Kozart.
Yeah, he got him in a nice pitcher's count.
And he got him swinging one away. A huge strikeout on 3 pitches there for Kozart. After Darling could not get the bunt down, that's going to bring the catcher Cohen Betancourt to the plate. So 1 away, huge out there, Luke.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Kozart with that, bringing the heat with that fastball. I believe he sits around low to mid-90s on that fastball, and he has longevity to go 7 innings.
Yes, sir. He does not seem to wear down.
And we got a ball there.
Called the ball. I did not quite see what he was doing there. I was looking down.
I don't think it came set, Jason.
It came set, huh? Okay. Well, that's going to move Farrell over to third. So that essentially gets Darling off the hook for not getting the bunt down. You know, if it was a Little League parent, he'd probably take credit for his kid getting that runner over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all Betancourt's got to do now is basically get a ball in play. He's going to drive that run in.
He does. And let's see what Wesleyan coach Mo Blakeney, let's see what kind of approach he takes here. Looks like Papsiak is in at third. Looks like Goff is in at first. So it would be interesting to see if they got a hot shot. And look at Farrell creeping down the line. He is getting about a third of the way down that third baseline.
Trying to get in the head of Kozart. I mean, mind games are a big deal here in this postseason level.
Absolutely. And Kozart's working from the windup here, so should a pitch get past Bowman behind the plate, we'd be in trouble. But Kozart says no problem. Strikes out Betancourt for the second out. And now Kozart is 1 out away from working his way out of a jam. Matty Carroll, the third baseman, steps to the plate.
Matty Carroll, another dangerous hitter for this Charlotte Christian Ball Club. 309 average, 14 runs, 25 hits. Hasn't launched a homer this season, but nonetheless a great hitter.
Into foul territory, Papsiak comes down and makes the catch right in front of the Wesleyan dugout. And the Trojans are feeling it.
Jason, I think we're in for a real treat tonight.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that's 2. I don't think either pitcher wants to work himself into a jam, but that was a great job for both pitchers getting out of some serious jams there in the early going. So Bowman, let me catch back up here on my first inning here. Bowman struck out looking. Papsiak walk. Hammond hit by pitch. And Holloway. Holloway struck out, if I'm not mistaken. And Goff struck out looking for the third out. So, no score after one here at Charlotte Christian. Wesleyan 0. Charlotte Christian 0. See who we got due up for the Trojans. It's going to be number 2, Domain Van, leading things off.
Jason, I 100% agree with you. These umpires are not playing around tonight with this pace of play. We are ready to resume the top of the second.
And hey, when I've got somewhere to be, I certainly appreciate that. Tonight, running a little bit behind when I got here, I wouldn't mind working like a couple of our guys we've had. They were certainly not getting paid by the hour. Nicholson's first pitch was a strike to Van. It would be huge for Van to get on here. The name of the game is going to be getting on base. Let's see what the umpire calls. He asked for help from the first base guy, and he called a check swing strike on Van. Now he's down 0-2. I don't know about that one. Dale Proctor over here off my left shoulder, he didn't like that call very much. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I would have agreed with it regardless of which team was hitting. And Van looks at strike 3. So now, another backwards K. That is the third backwards K for the Trojans here in the early going. And Mo Blakeney's probably saying, guys, when we got 2 strikes, we're going to have to expand that strike zone a little bit. It's going to bring Jaden Pipes in, the left fielder, with 1 away.
And Jason, we got early. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we have 3 backwards Ks for the Trojans.
That is the third one so far.
Not being aggressive at the plate early, but like I said earlier, we got a lot of game to play.
That's right. And I'll tell you what I like, what Nicholson did there. I like for a pitcher to sneak an 0-2 strike in there, to be honest with you. Everybody assumes it's going to be a throwaway pitch. I like to try to paint that corner every now and then, catch a hitter off guard. There's a ball in play for Pipes, grounder over to second, 2 away.
Yeah, I agree. I think Nicholson's doing a great job staying aggressive, trying to strike the pitch, strike the batter out, and not trying to set him up with the ball in the dirt.
Yeah. I understand, and coaches get upset when guys give up a big hit on an 0-2 count. I understand that too, but I do like taking a chance. I'm also a huge fan of swinging a bat every now and then on a 3-0 pitch if it's going to be grooved right down in the middle.
I'd like to see the coach down there at the third baseline giving that green light swing away.
And we don't see it much. All right. Mikey Papsiak takes a strike there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Papsiak, the freshman, younger brother of Nick Papsiak. He's the third in a long line of Papsiaks who have come through Wesleyan. So it's what you get when you get these teams like this with the established tradition. I'm sure there are players on Charlotte Christian's team whose whole family have come through. Papsiak takes a pitch high. Be really advantageous to got Papsiak up, Walker Parsons on deck. If we could flip back to the top of that lineup and get Hammond up with a couple guys on, the Trojans would certainly feel good about that.
Absolutely, Jason.
Ball inside. I believe we're at 3-1.
Papsiak, freshman.
3-2, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to write, trying to talk, trying to look, and I'm slow and old. That doesn't work too well sometimes.
Papsiak batting .214 on the year. And
he goes down swinging. So we thought we'd see a pitcher's duel. So far, that is exactly what we have, Luke. I'm going to pause just a second and finish right down this lineup here for Charlotte Christian. After 1.5, Charlotte Christian 0, Wesleyan 0. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I played 2 first one freshman did not play that team, that Charlotte Christian team at that time. Probably one of the best teams I've ever seen. I knew we were in trouble that day, and I watched the start pitch warm up. Yeah. Catcher puts his glove up and just closes it. Let him move it. No. Look at the radar gun. 95. Oh, yeah. That'll let you know. You're in for a day. Won a national college series there. Won the first round. He pitched here. Yes. I mean, if you want the whole thing, it was. All right, I have finally got both teams' starting lineups written into my scorebook. I am actually ready to get to work, and to be honest with you, we're supposed to throw our first pitch at 7 o'clock. I'm actually not at a bad pace after calling 9 outs of baseball. I'm pretty proud of myself, to be honest with you. Leading off in the top of the second, the designated hitter, Jack McGrath. He's batting for the pitcher, Nicholson. Not sure where that pitch missed. I don't think Cozart is sure where that pitch missed. He just had a little shoulder turn there, not much of a reaction.
Cozart committed to the number 3 in the nation, Texas Longhorns, Jason.
Oh, yes. He has been there. He's been a no-doubter since he was very young. No surprise whatsoever. And I'm normally the PA announcer at Wesleyan. I turned into a fan the other night, asked for a couple autographs, and he was certainly one of them. Great kid in the hallways. Great kid, what I love about a lot of our kids.
Just seems like a natural born leader, Jason.
Absolutely. McGrath here. After the leadoff double last inning, you know Cozart would like to get this first man here, maybe breathe just a little bit easier on the mound.
Maybe go through the signs.
Drop third strike. Bowman down to golf at first, and we got one away. The third strikeout for Cozart. That's going to bring to the plate, I believe, the freshman, Ivan Andino, the right fielder, number 17, and he has had a phenomenal freshman year for the Knights. What do his numbers look like, Luke? Can you see there? Andino. Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Batting 287 on the year, Jason. I am so sorry. Playing a little catch-up. Got this game bumped up, but nonetheless, we are on track now. 287 average for Andino with 25 hits and 2 home runs.
Yeah, he has gone deep twice. One thing I noticed about their lineup, they've got several guys who have gone deep. Foul ball out of play there.
One thing I noticed about Cozart, 77 strikeouts throughout the year. Really knows how to put a batter away.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Had another one in the ledger after that, drop third.
That one's fouled away. McGrath. Decent timing there, just can't quite get the barrel on. He's put 2 foul balls straight away behind him. So now Cozart trying to retire his. Wow. That one looked good. Bowman must have been set up off the plate because he didn't seem to move a whole lot there to home plate umpire never flinched and stayed put. Now a little ground ball up the middle. Mikey Papsiak with a nice play in the hole. We got 2 away. Very nice play for Mikey Papsiak. He had the range to his right quite a bit. Flip it over to Goff for the second out. And that's going to bring Hudson Simmons, the center fielder, to the plate with 2 away.
Yep, Simmons batting .273 on the year. 18 hits, 1 home run this year. It's going to bring up a ball.
Pop up. And Papsiak with another catch right in front of the dugout.
Sense of confusion down there, Jason, by the Wesleyan dugout. We weren't sure if that was going to stay in play or not, but a terrific play. I think he had some help with some communication from his teammates in the dugout nonetheless.
All right, we have played 2 complete. No score, Wesleyan and Charlotte Christian. We have played 2 straight. Nicholson looking very good for Charlotte Christian. Kozar looking as good as ever for Wesleyan. We expected a low-scoring pitcher's duel, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Some people like to see a lot of runs on that scoreboard, but me personally, I like to see a good pitcher's duel.
You like the low-scoring game?
Yeah, showcasing the talent on the mound.
All right, you picked a good night to be at the ballpark. Nicholson headed to Wake Forest to pitch. Kozar headed to Texas, as you mentioned previously. And if Hammond, barring whatever happens next month or in July, I guess, in the Major League Draft, maybe he's committed to Wake Forest, so if he ends up going to college, that's where he'll be. Walker Parsons now to the plate, leading off the third for Wesleyan. And he takes a strike. See if Parsons can't give us a base runner here for Hammond would be really nice. Pitch from Nicholson. Curveball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Parsons only batting .185 on the year, but looking to get something started for this Trojan offense.
He takes strike 2, so he's in a hole here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Walker Parsons. Grant Nicholson on the mound, no score. Parsons takes the curveball up about chin high, 2-2. Nicholson works pretty quick again. Pace of play I love here. He comes to the kind of saw him step off there. I thought that was an unusual motion, but Parsons actually asked for time out there. So we're sitting at 3-2, correct?
I believe so.
Trying to text with a couple people, say we got a little struggle on the feed, trying to see if you guys are experiencing that. We apologize for that. Parsons keeps fighting. 6th pitch of this at bat, he fouls straight back. Love to see these guys work that count, get Nicholson, run that pitch count up, maybe wear him out.
Absolutely, Jason. Need to stay aggressive here, though. Sit back, wait for the right pitch.
And Parsons reaches on a 7-pitch walk. So a leadoff walk there for Parsons. Huge at bat. Get a base runner on for Josh Hammond. And he worked those pitch up, that 7 pitch at bat. That's nice. It'd be nice to see some of these guys working deep, but Charlotte Christian's pretty deep in the bullpen, just like Wesleyan is. Any team that makes it at this point in the season, you know they're going to have more than one arm they can turn to in a clutch situation.
Yeah, Jason, let's see how Hammond reacts to that nasty shot he took to the wrist early in his first at-bat.
Led off with the hit by pitch off of his arm. Nicholson comes set. You know, Cozart was called for a balk earlier in the first inning, and Nicholson, now look, I'm not saying any balks. That is the new style of pitchers coming set, not new, maybe the last 5 years, but he does that toe tap, toe tap, toe tap before he comes set. Well, it makes an umpire's life tough. He finally comes set there, kicks. Hammond takes ball too low. You have to believe. You would have to believe the game plan here was we are not going to get beat by Josh Hammond.
Absolutely not. Not seeing trying to pitch away from him, not really going at him right now in the early innings.
Looks like an unintentional intentional walk. I could be wrong. Hopefully Papsiak on deck is just licking his chops. Hammond takes ball 3 off the plate, and it looks like that's exactly what we're going to get.
Now, Jason, do you think this is a green light for Hammond?
I have not seen a Wesleyan player get the green light all year from my perch in the PA box. Well, they might have gotten the green light, but they didn't take advantage. Let me just say that. As much as the PA guy encouraged them to, I've never seen him swing 3-0. Can't imagine we see it here, but he does not. Hammond takes ball 4. We got runners on second. Nobody out. Top of the third. Nick Papsiak at the plate, the senior. And you know, Papsiak would love to come through with a clutch base hit right here. Walker Parsons runs very well.
Yeah, I believe Papsiak reached on a base on balls in the top of the first, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. He walked right after him and got hit. Now, Cohen Betancourt out to have a little chat with Nicholson here, try to figure out how they want to approach this at bat with the Papsiak. You would have to believe Papsiak is going to get some pitches he likes here. Hammond on first, Parsons on second. Nobody out, top of the third, no score. Grant Nicholson on the mound, he kicks and delivers. Papsiak showed bunt there, but he pulled back. He took a strike. I don't know if they were just maybe wanting to see how Charlotte Christian's defense would react. I don't know if he was truly, if Blakeney gave him the bunt sign there or not, but he pulled the bunt back.
Yeah, Jason, that first baseman looks like he's playing way in.
Yes, he is. It looks like fast-pitch softball line there. Papsiak cannot get the bunt down, throws behind Parsons at second, trying to catch him napping. Did y'all win? One score. All right, congratulations. Good luck to y'all. Just talked to a few guys from Metro Line. They won in their semifinal, so the winner of this game will face the face Metro Line, the number 2 seed in the state championship this weekend, weather permitting. Pitch coming here to Papsiak with 2 strikes. And he goes down swinging. 1 away.
Nicholson really going after the rest of the hitters, but he seems to be avoiding Josh Hammond at the plate.
Looks like maybe that's going to be the approach here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cole Bowman get started off with that little off-speed stuff low away right here. I could be wrong. Catcher, number 3 hole hitter. Gets a fastball on the outside corner. He's down 0-1. I tell you what I would absolutely love here. Now, I may be slightly biased, but I would absolutely love to catch a shot from Cole Bowman right here beside the scoreboard and put Wesleyan up 3-0.
Wouldn't that be a treat to just come up here and catch one barehanded, Jason?
And I would go down and get him to sign it for me right after the game. He takes strike 2 off the outside corner.
Couple of geese flying low over the right field wall there. About took our heads off.
Nicholson really working away. Now, I'll say this. I'll say it now here. I'm not going to give him any tips. Cole loves that pitch on the outer half. He likes to poke that thing to the left center field gap. So if he gets one here, it'd be nice to see him go that way with one. He's down 0-2. He squirts one up the middle. Not a double play ball, I don't think. He's safe. So Hammond is forced out at second for the second out. Parsons moves over to third on the fielder's choice.
I believe we're going to have a pinch runner here, Jason.
Our courtesy runner for the catcher. I believe it's going to be Caleb Hasty, who it's been the last couple of weeks. The sophomore, it is number 19, Caleb Hasty, in the run for Bowman. Thompson Holloway stepping to the plate. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Huge opportunity here for Thompson Holloway. I saw him in a classroom today. Another student said, you know, I want to go. I want to be a fan. This might be my last. He's a graduating senior. Said this might be my last game to go as a fan. And Thompson was a little offended by that. I don't blame him. He said it's not going to be your last game. We're going to win. We're going to play again.
A lot of confidence, Jason. I love to see that out of a player.
Yes, sir. First pitch outside, looked like a little curveball, maybe faded away. Ball 1.
Yeah, going back to Hasty, courtesy running for the catcher there. I don't blame him. You know, the pace of play tonight, we're going to need all the time we can get.
Hoping no more storms blow through here. What a wet week we've endured here. Pitch to Holloway. That misses off the outside corner. 2 balls, no strikes. Hasty on first. He's staying put. 2 balls, no strikes to Holloway.
Trying to get a little rally started here with 2 outs.
It'd be really nice to see Thompson find the outfield right here. That's ball 3. He's got the hitter's count with my guy Blake Goff on deck. And boy, I would absolutely love to see a walk right here to load the bases for Goff.
Nicholson loves to pitch it outside to these hitters.
He does. He really locates that outside pitch pretty nicely. He nibbles and nibbles and nibbles. Doesn't give them too much that they can get a barrel on. 3-0. Pitch coming. Holloway takes that high. We got the bases loaded. Blake Goff to the plate.
There's that role player we've been needing all night, Jason, really to get this rally started with the bases loaded.
"56 pitches now, according to Dale Proctor over here. Got my stats. Goff up with the bases loaded. And he has been crucial for the Trojans this year, the first baseman. And he floats one. That's potentially trouble. Let's going to find a... No, it is not.
It was
he
dropped.
did drop the ball. So it looked like Ivan Andino, the freshman, had just made a sensational play diving in right field, but instead he cannot come up with it, and Parsons and Hasty come around to score, and the Trojans have a 2-0 lead.
My, oh my, Jason, you were just talking about how golf really can create a spark in a team, and here we are right now, driving in 2 runs.
Just a little bloop, and from where I was, now that's why as an umpire you don't take your eye off the ball, because it looked like Andino had just made a moment-saving catch, but he did not make the play. 2-run little bloop single for Goff, and the Trojans lead 2-0 in the top of the third. Little tapper foul territory.
Wesleyan working that pitch count very nicely against Nicholson, nearing almost 60 pitches.
He's at 62. 57th pitch there for Nicholson. Thank you, Dale. Goff takes off for second, so now he kills the force there on the defensive indifference. You got runners on second and third, 2 away. And boy, I'm going to tell you what, if Domain Van come up with a base hit right here, the Trojan faithful would be on fire. And instead, he looks at strike 3, second strikeout looking for Van of the night. And Nicholson gets his way out of it, but not before the Trojans push 2 across on Blake Goff's bases loaded bloop single in the right field, and Wesleyan with a crucial 2-0 lead. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Well, back here with you guys, took a little break there. You know, Wesleyan came down here in early March. It was a bitterly cold night. Wet. Wesleyan's field not playable, but this one was with the turf infield. Wesleyan led 4-0 and completely controlled that game. Charlotte Christian mounted a furious rally, ended up winning 5-4 in 8 innings. And Wesleyan certainly, I can promise you, they are not going to rest on their laurels until the scoreboard hits 0. Whit McKinnon leading off here, the second baseman for Charlotte Christian. Wesleyan leads 2-0 bottom of the third. McKinnon, the second baseman, he was one of the threesome out there in right field trying to make a play on Goff's ball. He couldn't quite reach it. He pops one into foul territory. Bowman might have a play, and he does.
Yeah, great play by Bowman there. A lot of communication back there from his pitcher and his first baseman, guiding him to find the ball.
So with one away, the shortstop, Derek Vasquez, is going to be coming to the plate. Vasquez, the shortstop, takes ball 1 high and away. Coach already likes to work quick. He likes to get on the mound, pump that fastball right by his hitter. And to be perfectly honest with you, that's probably fine with the hitters. I wouldn't want to stand there and look at Sam Kozart very long either.
Absolutely not. They fouled that down the over the third base dugout. Can't seem to catch up with that fastball, but I can't blame him if it's coming in at the mid-90s.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try to go in there either. So there's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the number 9 hole hitter, Derek Vasquez. See if Kozart can't pump one by him right here. He steps out, he wants to think about it a little bit. Kozart says, no problem, shrugs his shoulders, toes the rubber, and here it comes. Vasquez does get a bat on it, fouls back, still 1-2.
Battling well against Kozart.
They are. They're putting bat on the ball. I think their guys are getting in there ready to swing the bat. They know Kozart is always all around the strike zone. He's not going to mess around a whole lot. So they get in there ready to swing the bat. Steps out again. Got a little cat and mouse game going here.
Getting the sign right.
He laces one to center field. I think Van's going to have a beat on that. He did.
Absolutely.
Back. Had a beat on it for out number 2. Vasquez got a good piece of wood on it there.
That was a great hit, but Van had a good read on it, made it an easy out number 1.
And now here comes Farrell. Farrell led off the bottom of the first with that double. That one hop the wall over Van's head. So let's see how Cozart approaches him here. I've never known him to shy away from anybody. Don't expect him to start today. Must have missed just below the knees. What do you think?
Catcher's doing some great framework behind home plate.
Cole received that one really nicely. Brought that thing right in. That's ball too high to Farrell. And I don't know. I mean, Wesleyan may be taking a similar approach with Farrell, saying, hey, somebody else is going to have to beat us. We're not going to get beat by this guy.
I was just about to say that.
Missed a home run by about 8 feet. His first at bat. Swings through that one. 2 balls, 1 strike. That was what you had the same impression. Huh?
Yeah, Farrell, that pitch right there, just I don't know if he was caught off guard by the fastball, but definitely was late on that one. I'm not.
And there's another fastball right at about thigh high, right down Broadway. So now Cozart evens his way back up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away. Farrell at the plate. And he strikes out, but Bowman is a wild pitch. So Farrell is actually going to reach. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if
Jason, it looked like the check swing kind of caught the catcher off guard, rolled right between his legs. It looked like.
You know what? I think you're right. I think that check swing kind of threw Cole off a little bit. He probably would have dropped the block, but maybe he kind of anticipated some contact there. So Farrell reaches. Drew Darling, the first baseman, stepping to the plate. He hits one. Mikey Papsiak ranges over to second. Nice and you call it. What was he? What kind of play was that?
That was
nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth. Can of corn play. Can of corn play. Easy flip, first base, get him out of the inning.
And Cozart works his way out of a little bit of minor trouble there. So we played 3 complete in Charlotte. Wesleyan 2, Charlotte Christian 0. I'm going to drop a little bit of knowledge on you here. Dale Proctor let me know a few moments ago. I was talking about the tradition of both of these programs. 18 of the last 20 state championships, one of these 2 teams has played. So, you know, all kinds of tradition here. Both of these programs really take a lot of pride in what they do.
As well, it creates a little of a rivalry, you know.
Absolutely. They have been a little bit of a rivalry. We've talked about a little bit of cat and mouse here between the 2 schools. And, you know, going a little back and forth, a little chess game here. Okay, so if Nicholson throws 2 more pitches, as long as pitch count rules apply during the playoffs, he would be ineligible to pitch for the weekend. So, you know, thought about that today, thought about who we would throw, thought about who might come in out of the bullpen, but to be honest with you, there is no tomorrow, Luke. You got to win tonight.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
worry about the weekend.
But I will say this, Jason, I couldn't get the player, but it did seem the Knights were getting somebody warmed up in the bullpen.
33 warming up, and I'm going to have to do a little digging. Wade Thompson is warming up. Thank you, Dale. Headed to wing it. Did we already throw a pitch? I wasn't watching. We don't know what it was. We're trying to figure out who's warming up in the bullpen. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to hope that Jaden Pipes can put something in play here. I umpired quite a bit, and I'll tell you, every now and then when things got a little haywire, 1 ball, 1 strike. Thank you, Dale. When things got a little haywire, I just hope the kid put the ball in play. That way, if I didn't accidentally ring somebody up on strike 2. or strike 4. Didn't want either of those things to happen. Pipes takes one about at the belly, maybe between the numbers and the letters.
And I believe Nicholson has thrown 3 pitches.
Yeah, that would knock him out. This would probably be it for him, and he may be praying for rain if Charlotte Christian was able to win tonight. Aiden Pipes now stands in. Missed most of the season with a foot injury. Just came back a couple weeks ago. Made his way to the lineup.
Yeah, Jason only played 2 games, batting 167.
Pipes goes down on strikes for the first out. That brings up the number 8 hitter, Mikey Papsiak, who's made a couple very nice plays out at second base this evening. The freshman. He's going to step in and try to get Papsiak, the 8-hole hitter. The rally started last inning with Parsons out of the 9-hole. It would be really nice to get some base runners here out of the bottom of the lineup for Hammond again. Force Charlotte Christian to pitch to her. Nicholson toes the rubber, gets the sign. And that's the strike on the inside half. Papsiak looking 2 balls, 1 strike now to Papsiak. He flies one out here to right field. I think Andino's not going to have a whole lot of trouble on that one. We'll fly out to right for the second out. And that's going to bring Parsons to the plate.
And getting a little comfort after missing that saving fly ball there in the last inning.
And to be honest with you, Luke, I didn't see that. Now, he may have had that pink tape on his wrist before that diving play. He did. Okay, I thought maybe he might have got a little jam job there. Walker Parsons to the plate with 2 outs. He takes the first pitch. I believe it must have been inside for ball 1. Nicholson delivers, and that one's going to be called a strike. He must have worked his way in. Well, I said inside based on what he's done the whole game. I bet he missed outside. Can't quite see from 330 feet away. That one's going to be strike 2, look like right down in the middle. So Parsons down, 1-2, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Wesleyan leads 2-0. Parsons with a little flare to right field, and Andino dives this time. He finishes the play. So nice piece of hitting there for Parsons. But Andino, I'm going to tell you what, that kid can play. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Wesleyan leads 2-0.
I do think they're very bonded. I've read a book on a long time. He's up to bat early.
We are back, folks. Sorry for that brief interruption. Batting now, Cohen Betancourt. Cozart pitching a scoreless game this evening so far. Seems to be dealing all right.
Betancourt struck out in the top of the first. No balls, 2 strikes here for Cozart. He would certainly love to start things off with a strikeout here. Betancourt fouls one back, fights to stay alive.
Struggling with that fastball late in count.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, my goal for this year was to get some of those meta glasses where you could record what was going on and just get in the batter's box and let people see what it looked like to look at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from him and Josh Hammond, but I never got around to it. I was hoping for a $500 contribution from somebody. It never came. That's okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sorry, foul ball, not a ball. I was dreaming about those meta glasses, lost track of the count. Skies one. Out of play. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 4th. Wesleyan 2. Charlotte Christian 0. Sam Cozart on the mound for Wesleyan, throwing a gem. Blake Goff's little flare in the right field, push 2 across. And Betancourt goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today.
Yeah, Jason, when you see those fastballs 5 or 6 times at a count, he's really going to fool the batter with that off speed.
Oh, yes. That slider, he heard him a few weeks ago. That slider was sitting at about 87 miles an hour, so I can't imagine having one coming at me that speed and then just change directions on me. Matty Carroll now to the plate. He popped out to Papsiak in foul territory over there in front of the Wesleyan dugout to end the 1st inning.
Carroll batting 309 on the year. Let's see if he can spark something for this night offense.
And I believe he's gone deep a couple times, has he not?
No, actually he has not. 0 home runs on the year.
Okay, I've noticed they had about 5 or 6 different guys who have gone yard, and I was impressed by that. Really, you gotta kind of feel that up and down the lineup. So he has not hit a home run. Okay.
He is actually 3rd on the team in doubles with 4 on the year.
And boy, I'm not sure where that missed. 3-0 now. That one right down the middle, 3-1. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't unplug. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, refresh here.